I want to be better for me. I want to feel confident in my skin. I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel strong. I want to create habits that my children and my grandchildren are going to take notice to so they can start earlier. The problem is that I don't do that. And I can give you 75 reasons why I don't do that. Because I'm tired, because I got a full plate, because by the time I'm like, oh, I should get up and work out, I'm like, nah, I don't feel like it. There's so many different reasons. So my why isn't big enough that compels me to get up and, ignore the excuses and just do it. So that's my problem. I need to take, I want to take better care of myself. And I'm just not doing it.
Welcome to the Gutsy Podcast, the show where you learn how to own what you actually want and shift the mind junk that's been holding you back. I'm Laura Ora, keynote speaker, coach, and your guide to help you get clarity, build confidence, and make the gutsy moves that change your life. Each week, I'm going to help you simplify things by teaching you how to get out of your head while stepping into action. This way you can achieve all those life shifts that you've been overthinking. Your desire, that drives you. But gutsy, that's what gets it done. You know that moving your body is good, eating well is good, and yet there seems to be some sort of resistance or hesitation around actually doing it. I don't care where you are right now, raise your hand if that is ringing true for you too. There tends to be this hesitation and resistance around doing the things that you know are going to help you. And a lot of times it's because it feels like one more thing to do. Today, I had the honor of coaching Marti. Marti reached out because she's like, listen, one of the things that I really want to do, but I don't do, is to take time to move my body regularly. She wanted to discover why she has this hesitation and resistance around taking care of herself better, even when she knows that she consciously wants it. The great news is, not only do we get to the root of the resistance, but we create a simplified plan so she can start taking action today. If you're ready to break through this resistance too, buckle up because you just might get some answers today. Miss Marti.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
So I love your submission. I love your question because I think it's something that so many people can relate to. And we're talking about prioritizing your health, like finding something that works for you and sticking with it. So tell me a little bit about what's going on first, and then we'll see where we go with this.
Okay. So I already eat healthy. I eat really well. I tend to eat the outside perimeter of the grocery store. I don't do a lot of carbs. I don't do processed foods. I don't do sugar unless it's like natural sugar that I'm getting in fruit, so I eat really well to begin with. But it's just not enough for me at this point. Listen, I'm pushing 47. I'm going to be 47 in a couple weeks. So I am very cognizant of my age, first and foremost. And I'm very cognizant that if I don't start regularly moving my body now, that the likelihood that the longer I put it off, the longer I'm going to put it off, right? And I know the sooner I start, and develop healthy habits around moving my body, the better it's going to be, right? Because I believe that healthy body is a healthy mind, and a fit body is a fit Marti, is a confident Marti. I mean, like more so. And I desire that, and let's be real. I just separated from my husband this year. I am eagerly anticipating a divorce. So it's like, they call it your glow up. And not that I have this like idea in my head that like, oh, I want to be better now. I want to be better for me. I want to feel confident in my skin. I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel strong. I want to create habits that my children and my grandchildren are going to take notice to so they can start earlier. The problem is that I don't do that. And I can give you 75 reasons why I don't do that. Because I'm tired, because I got a full plate, because by the time I'm like, oh, I should get up and work out, I'm like, nah, I don't feel like it. There's so many different reasons. So my why isn't big enough that compels me to get up and, ignore the excuses and just do it. So that's my problem. I want to take better care of myself, and I'm just not doing it.
Yeah. Well, a key word that you just said there is want. right? Because we can talk about something all day long and think that we might want it, but like, do you want it? I feel like I want to ask you, do you want it in your mind or do you feel the want in your body? Like, where are you feeling that want?
Mostly in my mind. It's primarily in my mind, and it's primarily in my mind. I remember it when I'm like, got my bingo wings going on, or I'm struggling like throwing that suitcase around, because I've been doing some traveling here lately, a lot of traveling actually, and I love it. I'm like pushing the 45, 50 pound suitcase. I'm like, oh God, am I going to make weight? I don't know. It's not easy throwing that around the older you get. And I'm not a big person in general, but I'm not strong.
Mm, you're not strong. So the reason I ask where you feel that is because a lot of ideas live in the head, right? Right. I mean, that's where a lot of things come in. That's where information comes in. Your intuition drops in. You get some clarity up there. But the challenge is if we've not embodied it, if you're not wanting that with your body, it's not yet integrated. See what I'm saying? So it's still kind of up and above, right? If you, I kind of get this visual of this desire that's kind of floating up and around you, and it dips into your head every once in a while, and then it rises back up and leaves you. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, no, it's yes, totally get it. It's not a day-to-day daily thought. Like it just is swirling around more frequently than not, but not all the time.
Exactly. And so the key to making it like a real thing, right? To making it something that it's just part of your world is shifting the way that you're looking at what this is in the first place. So right now it's like this extra thing. It's this on top of everything else. It's this I'm already tired, so how am I going to go do something that's going to make me more tired type of thing, right? It's the perspective of how you might be looking at caring for yourself and exercising. Is that true? How
Yeah.
what is your current view on exercising? Besides the fact that you want it and you want to feel good, that is true, but two things can be true.
Yes, of course.
What is your perspective on exercise and moving your body right now?
Also, it's hard.
Hmm.
Also, it's hard.
Yeah. So that's the story that's playing.
Yes.
That's why it's not integrating into your body yet because your mind is telling you this is hard. So toss that back up there. Nope. Things are already hard enough, right? I know I'm already going through a divorce. That's hard enough. I'm changing a lot of things in my life. That's hard enough. I can't take on one more hard.
Yeah.
So you resist it.
Yeah.
And I know you've heard me say it, and I know everyone else has heard me say it, but I'll say it 10,000 more times. The thing that you want the most is often behind the thing that you resist the most.
Yeah. And that's hard. You know what? Like, and here's the thing, like, I feel like I resist the hard. I mean, I can do hard things. I know I do hard things. I do hard things all the time, which I feel like is like I can't add one more hard thing to my plate. Like I just don't have the bandwidth for something else that is hard.
Yeah. And that's why it's not sticking, my love.
I know. I'm like, damn, there it is. Damn.
That's why it's not sticking because your underlying belief around taking care of your body is that it's hard and I can't take on one more hard thing. So, what if we start to flip that story?
Yeah.
What is really true and possible about working out and taking care of your body?
Doesn't have to be hard. You start easy, you can start slow.
Mm-hmm. And what does working out and taking care of your body give you?
It gives me more time, gives me more flexibility, it makes me stronger, it makes me feel better
Yeah.
mentally and physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the truth. It gives you more confidence. It actually closes a lot of tabs in your brain. So you're not thinking about can I lug around that luggage? Can I go to this event and be able to walk around without getting winded or tired? Right. And just to feel good in your body. I mean, we all know this and we've heard it a million times, but when you move your body, you clear your mind.
Yeah. That's fair. I mean, and listen, like, and I am well aware of that, and the last couple of years I've struggled with some anxiety. I have not been struggling with it, but you know, I recognize that my anxiety is just pent up energy. That when I'm starting to feel that pent up energy, I just got to move it out of my body. And I do that by running. And I've even gotten out of the habit of running because I haven't been experiencing any anxiety to move the energy out.
Ah, gotcha. It's the good old fashioned like, oh, I'm feeling better now, so I'm gonna stop doing all the things. I'll I don't need to take the medicine anymore. I don't need to move anymore. I don't need to do the thing anymore because now I fixed it. Except, guess what? It is like creeping around the freaking corner. So, something I feel really called to ask you right now is tell me about your vision for Marty as a whole. Like who is the big version of Marty? The Marty that you are working towards, striving for, the one that you see that is strong and fit and confident. Tell me about her world.
Mm. Yeah, I can absolutely tell you about her world. Yeah, so gosh, Marty, in the next couple years, my business is I'm pivoting my business a little bit to work with less clients in greater capacity. I'm traveling. I'm actively getting ready to start traveling full time. Things that I've always said that I've wanted to do that I've just never done, that if I don't take the opportunity and do it now, then it's going to be a lost opportunity. And I'm fit in doing so because I anticipate going places where I can experience culture, and hike and walk and just be physically able to do those things and not feel like I need to sit in some hostel working all day, because I don't have the energy to get up and go out.
Yeah. And that's clear as day to you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so clear. I can see it so
Yeah.
clearly. Also scares the shit out of me, but
Naturally. I mean, hey, every good gutsy move rattles you a little bit.
yeah, of course.
I would be more surprised if it didn't. So that version of you, that version of Marty requires your strength and agility, your health.
Yes.
So by avoiding caring for yourself now, ultimately you're avoiding being her.
Ah. Hmm.
See how all this starts to really line together. It starts to add up together. And it's like, why can't I get to her faster? Why is that stuff not working yet? Why am I not experiencing more of that yet? And the reality is because we're not feeding her right now. We're not giving her the grounds to be able to grow.
And what's really interesting about this, I want to point this out, is that I was just having this conversation. We were having this conversation not terribly long ago about self-sabotage and what self-sabotage is. And I had this epiphany that self-sabotage is, my mindset going back into the same old places, when an obstacle, it's when there's challenges, right? Like not not keeping my mind in the forward and what forward looks like and living from that place versus paying attention to the current circumstances. And in my current circumstances, this is hard. In my future circumstances, this is not hard. It is just part of my day to day. Holy shit. Self sabotage creeping up.
It's a finicky little bastard, that one. Yeah, I mean, right now when you talk about the story of taking care of your body being hard, that's looking backwards.
Yeah.
That's going to old truths. And if you think about honestly, if you think about this, your perspective on running even
Mm-hmm.
was to fix a problem.
It was.
Whereas the health and strength that you're looking for is supporting vitality.
Yes.
It's a night and day perspective shift. And will working out fix things inadvertently? Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of the point of a lot of it, right? But if you start to focus on, I'm doing this for vitality versus I'm doing this to fix and get away from something, you're going to start feeding that higher version of Marty that you know already exists. And it will make it not hard. Anytime you start something new, there's that newness period, right? Where it feels a little choppy. But it's like, what if you start looking at it as I'm training to be her?
Yeah.
I'm training to be that higher version of Marty. What does she need? That girl needs strength. We got to lug around some fucking luggage. We got to be able to hike that shit up in the carry-on on the plane,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what do I got to do? Let's start lifting some weights.
Yeah.
You know, what does she need to be able to grow this? Next iteration of her business. She needs clarity. She needs energy. She needs to be able to move.
Yeah.
Running does that for you.
Yeah.
So what if you start to look at caring for your body like training to allow her to exist?
Yeah.
How's that land for you?
Man, so good. So good. So I feel like in this iteration, in this next season, I used to be huge on vision boards. And I actually did a vision board maybe 3 years ago ish. And it was unlike any other vision board that I had ever done. It was interesting because it was a vision board that um, every picture on that vision board was a feeling, right? Something that I wanted to feel. It wasn't like, oh, I want 17 books and 5 houses and blah, blah, blah. It was things that made me feel good when I looked at them. And I focused on that feeling. And that vision board carried me through actually 2 years before I ended up ditching it. And I just ditched it like maybe a year ago. And I just feel like maybe it's time to do like a vision board again, just to keep it kind of front and center because, at this stage, I think I just kind of need that reminder of that forward version of me.
Yep. I think that's a phenomenal idea. And focusing on the feeling is a really powerful tool to help you, I'll use the word manifest.
Yeah.
I mean, we could call it whatever it is, but it helps you to draw that into your world.
Yeah.
Because when you're really clear about what it is that you want, whether that's a physical thing or a tangible feeling, it starts to introduce it into your body and make it normal. So if one of those feelings is strength and you look at that every day and you focus on integrating strength on a regular basis each week, your body starts to normalize that as a great thing.
Yeah.
Whereas right now it's this far off thing that doesn't exist. It's not in front of you. And all you know of it to be right now is hard.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really great first next step is to create your new vision board because also you're in a new phase of life right now.
Everything is new right now.
Everything.
My foundation that I thought I had, I'm building new foundation. I'm like, holy shit. Like I am writing my story right now.
Yes, you are. And so let's create those feelings from this space looking forward now.
Yeah.
Because 3 years ago, you were physically in a different location, you
Yeah.
were in a marriage, you like just your business was different, like everything was different.
Yeah.
So let's regroup and do this from this space moving forward.
Yeah.
Supporting who that Marti really is that you shared with me a little bit ago.
Yeah. That Marti has a name. Do you want to know her name?
Yeah, I do.
Did I ever tell you this?
I don't, maybe, but I want to hear it again.
It's Cherry.
Cherry.
I would never in a million years name anything Cherry, but I always had this like what I thought was going to be this like vision of me. I could see me in my clothes, I could see my office, I could see what it looked like, I could see what I was doing. It was so clear, but I'm like, what? Like I don't ever desire to work in an office. I just don't desire that. And I realized, well, that's the Marti that I consult. Like that's a Marti in a different timeline. She's the one that I'm consulting. So I was meditating one day and I'm like, oh, what's her name? It said Cherry. I'm like, Cherry, fuck. I don't remember what cherry means now, but I actually looked up the meaning of the name cherry and I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume that cherry is bold and zesty and
Yes.
and makes moves and doesn't think twice about it.
Yes.
So you're training to welcome Cherry in.
Yeah.
She needs your strength and your vitality and your focus. And so
Yeah.
the first step is doing that vision board. That's going to be really powerful for you to reconnect with what's important to you in this phase moving forward. The
Yeah.
second thing is what are you willing to commit to start? Because we can have grand ideas all day long, but if we don't have a focal point, something, one thing, there can be more, but I'm an advocate for focusing on one thing. What's your one thing that you want to commit to?
It's stretching and flexibility.
Okay. And how freaking simple is that?
That is so freaking simple.
So, what's a good time of day for you to do that?
First thing in the morning.
Okay. When you get out of bed, before you get on your phone,
Yes.
sandwich in between, stretching.
Yes. Stretch it out. Yeah.
Every time you commit to stretching, you're showing yourself that you can follow through for yourself.
Mm,
That will raise your confidence. It will make it easier. You'll actually look forward to it. And eventually it will become a non negotiable.
yeah.
And the only thing that it takes to get to that non negotiable state, and what I mean by that is, I don't start my day without stretching.
Yeah.
I always start my day with stretching, right? Like you don't even think about it. Like you brush your teeth, like you get your cup of coffee. I also stretch. The only thing that it takes to get to that is consistency.
Is consistency.
So I would give you a little trick that helps me. And I've talked to quite a few other people. When you're laying in bed or you go to grab your phone or whatever the thing is, catch the moment when you start thinking, I don't feel like stretching today. I'm tired. I don't want to do the thing. Catch that
Yeah.
and interrupt it by saying, Marty, do you want the same or better?
Oh,
Same or better?
no one says, I'll take the same, please.
Exactly. You've got to trick yourself until yourself believes it
Yeah.
because you're used to an old way. That old groove is really deeply ingrained. So you're going to experience resistance when you start doing this. And it's not because it's wrong, it's because it's new. So by interrupting that thought pattern, we are changing the direction of that groove and going to a new one.
Yeah.
And the simple question of same or better, it changes it because exactly what you just said. You're like, well, I don't want the same. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I want to feel better. Fucking get up and let's stretch.
Yes.
That pattern over a couple of weeks leads you to the point where it becomes something that's a non-negotiable.
Girl, I anticipate that being a non-negotiable by January 1.
There you go. So how about a little accountability? Message me on January 1 and let me know how the stretching has been going.
Absolutely. Maybe by January 1, I will have incorporated more stuff into that.
I don't doubt that for a second because here's what happens. When you start following through for yourself and you start to experience the good that comes from it, meaning you're feeling more flexible, you're feeling more energized, you're feeling more grounded. When you get a taste of feeling better, your body's like, what else you got?
Yeah.
And so then you start stacking on, then you start adding things on. But the goal of starting simple is nothing more than allowing yourself to follow through for something for you, to make it easy
Yeah.
so that you can stick with it. Because what do? Especially as women, I'm going to start stretching and then I'm going to get new yoga clothes and I'm going to start running 4 days a week and I'm going to do this and I'm going to join the gym. And we set ourselves up for failure because it's too fucking much.
Girl, been there, done that. I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes. I'm going to go to the gym for an hour. Yeah, no.
It doesn't, it's unrealistic expectations and it's proving to ourselves that we can't make a change,
Yeah,
which further ingrains that groove in the brain.
that we can't do this
Exactly.
because it's too hard.
It, look at that full circle.
Boom.
Let it be easy.
Yes.
Focus on one thing that you can follow through. Show yourself that you can do it. Give yourself the chance to start feeling better. And then you can add on to it. That's the way of success. That's the way that you create long standing, healthy habits, shit that actually sticks.
Yeah.
So, what's your perspective on taking care of your body now?
Jesus, that's like so easy. Yeah, I'm like, it's so easy. Like it doesn't have to, it doesn't have to be hard. It's easy to get up in the morning and stretch. God, I can make my coffee and like work it out while I'm making my coffee, or work it out while I'm brushing my teeth, or work it out while I'm in the shower. There's so many ways that I can even incorporate stretching into things that I'm already doing.
Yes,
Yes,
it's there. And you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to buy anything. It's not fancy. It just is.
just is.
And it's showing yourself that you are worthy of feeling good.
Yeah.
You're showing yourself that you're allowed to feel good.
It's gonna be like Pavlov's dog. I'm gonna feel good and they're gonna want more and more every time. Get up and stretch. Yes.
Exactly. Let it be easy. My goodness, how complicated we tend to make things, and how amazing it is when you get to the root of why you're resisting something in the first place. This gives you clarity, which gives you direction, which gives you the oomph to get going in the right direction. I have no doubt that Marti is going to start prioritizing moving her body. And as soon as she does it, she's going to experience just this whirlwind of awesomeness that she's going to want to keep doing it. Marti had one more thing that she wanted to share with you before we go today.
So when I came into the session, I think there was like a piece of me like, okay, what's this gonna do? Right. I'm like, because I know you. Like I know how you be. You dig right in super quick and it can be painful. But gosh, it was just so easy the way that you just asked the questions that unfolded. You didn't even necessarily tell me, like you offered suggestions and insight. I mean, but this was an unfolding within me, not you telling me. And I think there's a difference between someone telling you what to do and someone just asking the right questions and giving the right perspective and the right suggestions Because when it comes from within you, I think it's way more powerful. And I think that's what happened. Just like the clarity, because you asked questions that unfolded what was really at the root of the problem.
If you want to get to the root of your resistance and get the clarity that you need to move forward, you, my friend, could have a chance to get coached live on the Gutsy podcast. The link to apply are in the show notes, and if doing it live is not your jam, that's okay too. I offer single sessions to get you the clarity to get going, and until December 18th, which happens to be my 40th birthday this year, I'm offering these at a redonkulous discount of $40 for 40 minutes. These won't last long though, so grab yours by scrolling down, clicking on the link, and scheduling your session today. Don't forget to connect with me. I play the most on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. You can find me using @thatlauraora. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.